So yesterday's live arena push with Errol was okay, but I want to try other options that I have. And today I thought that I will try a more defensive team with double Duchess instead of Ukko, and then Inithwe. And yeah, basically it's in the same gear as Errol, not exactly the same one, but most of the same gear, like half of the same gear and couple different pieces to get like full crit rate on him. It's kind of fast build, but nothing super special. It is a +0 in Inithwe, so it isn't like incredible. Like even if it was +4, Inithwe doesn't have incredible multipliers, so it is kind of so and so. But I did try some fights with him yesterday, and it was kind of decent. I had like some super long fights, but when I went with the double Duchess combination, like I was able to win those fights eventually. Like I'm expecting to see some 20-minute fights today, but we will see how it performs. Like he will, because of his block revive, like he's eventually gonna finish all of the teams if I just can get a kill on their nukers. And I think that even if he isn't like your second nuker, like he's gonna be for me, he might be a decent option as a third or fourth nuker in live arena, because against some matchups, like let's say enemy has a Rotos, if he gets his A2, which is his hardest hitting skill, which is a triple hitter, this can easily one-shot Rotos, and then he won't be able to be revived. Like, it's not gonna kill Rotos through Necret, it's not even gonna be close, but if it doesn't have a Necret, or if you kill the Necret first, then this will be pretty easy kill. But against some more tankier teams, like Inithwe is also very squishy, he has like 14k HP, so he is very easy kill. But if you're able to survive them, then you kind of might slowly be able to block revive and whittle them down. And I'm gonna go with both of my Duchesses today. Like before I was using Ukko and one Duchess, and the issue with that strategy is that I was using the fast Duchess that is meant for offense, and this is very good for the start of the fight, but this is gonna die over time and it doesn't have any sustain. And now I'm also gonna pair her with the Duchess that I use in defense, which is my super tanky Duchess in Bolster, and she's gonna heal her and she isn't easily dying to most teams. Like, of course, something like Rotos or Georgit will easily kill her, but some of the lower tier champions will find it very hard to kill something like her. And just like the enemy teams are gonna ban my Rotos every time, I might be able to ban like one Georgit or some important champion. But let's see how this goes. I have climbed up a bit more now, so most of the fights are not gonna be super easy. Like it should get harder over time. Okay, so the first fight is against a fellow arena player. I'm not super familiar with him, but he does have the avatar. I'm just gonna... I think I will actually save one support pick for the last slot this time, and I will pick both of my nukers before it, because it's not like I'm gonna use any other nukers anyway. I have some other ideas, like I want to try Shashar or some other bomb nukers as like an option that I might not use in every fight, but I should have them geared. But right now I'm not gonna use Shashar or those. Let's just go with the fast Duchess first. But yeah, probably I will go with the double Duchess against this team. Well, so far the enemy comp doesn't seem super scary. Like my Duchesses and Necret can definitely tank a Tranda pretty easily, so... Unless he picks like double lockout after this, I should be pretty good. I bet he was thinking about picking Rotos because he's thinking this long. Like, the Inithwe is definitely gonna be a good counter against Rotos and some specific matchups. Like, let's say enemy has Charged, but he doesn't have like Necret or they are not faster than you. Some matchups is gonna be auto win with Inithwe, but in general he is not gonna be like insane. But even on top accounts, he might be like a niche pick that you could sometimes use, definitely. I know that my clan leader Infinite is a big fan of this champion and he wants it to be a top tier champion, but it's probably not gonna be that unless he gets several other buffs sometime soon. Oh, he also went with double Duchess. That's kind of funny. Wow, okay, this team is kind of weird. Like, I guess I will play it the proper way. Like, if I ban Tranda, there is no way he can ever beat me with this. Well, to be honest, with either of these combinations, he wouldn't beat me. But especially with Mountain King, he's never gonna have enough damage to kill. He's not even gonna kill this one Duchess that is in Bolster. Okay, yeah. Lol, he instantly surrendered that fight. Yeah. Yeah, well, as I was gonna say, like, he's gonna weak hit on those Duchesses. And the one that I got in like 140k HP and in Bolster and Immortal, I don't think that Mountain King would even be able to beat it in 1 versus 1, even in like infinite amount of time. So I had one kind of similar matchup yesterday as well, that after the big and ban phase, enemy realized that his Rotos, like he had Rotos Nuker without Necret, and he realized that he has no chance against that matchup with Inithwe, and it was like instant surrender as well. And it was also against like a Platinum player, so... But yeah, I think the issue with me, of course, is that I'm gonna need the gear for multiple nukers. And now Inithwe is kind of like in my like Gala gear. So if I'm gonna use him, then either I have to change his gear every week or I have to so if I'm gonna use him, I either have to change Gala's gear every week, or then I'm gonna have to use Inithwe on Platinum Reset, which I might. Like, I was thinking that maybe against some matchups Inithwe would be good as well. Okay, so here we got a bit harder matchup. Like, the Inithwe isn't gonna be able to deal with lockout, so I'm gonna have to ban the lockout, which I really don't want to. But yeah, this team might be pretty hard for me. We will see. I mean, actually, maybe not. Like, it is very squishy, and my Inithwe should kill his Rotos right off the bat. I assume his Georgie is gonna be the lowest HP. Yeah, he is. And he doesn't have the Whale from Duchess, so when the Inithwe gets a turn, it's instant one tap and Rotos is dead and he's not gonna come back. I think, let me actually check. I think Inithwe A2 has like 4.8 multiplier. Let me confirm it. Yeah, it has like 4.8 multiplier, which is pretty good. I mean, it doesn't ignore defense, and it is his hardest hitting skill. Like, the other two are way worse. But yeah, 4.8 is decent for a multi-hitter. I mean, George, it has what, is it 6.7 with 50% ignore defense, but anyway. Can I want that? I just go with the AoE nuke skill. This isn't gonna hit super hard. I don't... Okay. Wow. I wasn't expecting that. Like, the enemy team must have been super squishy. Like, how did Necret die to that AoE nuke? That skill only has 3.6 multiplier, and it doesn't ignore defense, so it is not super hard hitting skill. I have to check it later. Was that maybe like fast build Necret? I'm not sure how it died so easy. Well, today is starting really well. I guess Inithwe is doing work. I'm getting some very fast fights, unlike before. But I suspect that at some point, I had this one team yesterday where the enemy team had like Candy, and I think I don't recall his entire team out of the top of my head, but basically I killed his, was it Rotos? I killed his one nuker, and then we had like 15-minute fight where his Candy kept killing my Inithwe and he never got a turn, but there was no way that he could kill my double Duchess, so eventually I won it, but he was like stalling it forever. Oh, it's not against the same team, same player, but it's basically the same team. But yeah, so far both the double Duchess and Inithwe seems to be working pretty good. I was kind of, I don't know why I wasn't going for double Duchess on the first day, because I was actually using double Duchess on Arena Resit at one point to fight against Taras and Marichka teams. It is actually kind of usable, even though it seems like a meme team. Because they are in totally different builds, like the other Duchess is in the fast stone skin and the other one is in the ultra tanky bolster immortal build. And my Necret is in shield set and not in bolster, so if enemy has buff strip, they actually are able to buff strip the shield. But Duchess is in bolster, and when there is one champion in bolster and one in shield, those effects stack together, and also the shield from the shield set is unremovable. So it is a very good synergy, and of course in like I use both of them in arena defense, so that's why I don't mind that my Necret is in shield set. So here this Necret hasn't taken a turn, so he probably has reaction, so I'm not even gonna go for him. Let's go for the Arbiter first. I don't think I can one-shot the Georgit, but let's try. Well, maybe I can. Yeah, no, okay. Kind of close. But yeah, looks like this was another like fairly easy team. I guess this guy was also afraid of the Inithwe. I guess one guy instant surrendered when I had the Inithwe Rotos matchup, and this guy is also banned my Inithwe, which is kind of funny because, as you know, my Rotos has very good gear, so that was my biggest concern with Tag Team Arena or Live Arena, that I'm not able to play this format because everybody is always gonna ban my Rotos. But if they ban Inithwe, then I'm good. I guess it's also because some of the more like hardcore players, I guess they played a lot of Live Arena and they may be pushed to higher points than this at this point. Let's actually check what the ladder looks like in Live Arena. Also think about this, we're gonna need 4.8k points for the top rewards, and I did tons of fights at this point and bought several refills, and I'm at 1.2k points. I'm not even close to 4.8k. Okay, so yeah, the top players are... Actually, I'm kind of close. Yeah, I guess you need 1300 points to be on the leaderboard. Yeah, so I'm like 100 points behind. Probably we had several easy fights just now, but probably we're gonna get some very hard fights soon. Yeah, yesterday I was already trying the Inithwe comp a bit before I was making a video about it. and the chests are gonna scale with your tiers, obviously. So this is something that you do want to climb, and both of these sets, like the Seal and Impulse, they are pretty good. So if you're like climbing in the game, this is gonna be maybe the best Hydra set, or just general PV set. And Seal set is kind of gonna be budget Savage. It's not really as good as Savage, but it's pretty close. And on some situations, like if the champions completely ignore enemy defense or very close to it, then it might be better than Savage. Or I mean, Savage is not gonna do anything if you fully ignore defense anyway, so. But both of those sets are very good, so I think that many people are actually gonna grind this format a lot. Kind of like right now, if you're, let's say, in early mid game, buying like Forge passes is gonna make your account progression a lot faster. And I think Live Arena is gonna be kind of like that as well. Like, if you're able to like do some fights in it and win, which might not be easy, but if you're able to do that, then those sets are definitely worth grinding. Even if it's not like 6-star pieces, but and you're in like bronze or silver tier. But if you're in like mid game, it will still be worth it. And I got one of those chests so far, and it gave me a pretty good helmet that was like 6-star rare piece. So even the bronze chests are gonna be good enough for pretty end game content, like as long as you can get 6-star pieces. Yeah, also we definitely need a tab to sort out the teams for Live Arena. Like, I'm sure many times people accidentally pick wrong champions because of this, and they might have multiple of the same champions, or they just have to scroll so much that they accidentally click on something. I kind of did that a few times as well, so. This is kind of interesting team. I mean, I still have to ban the lockout, even though I would have wanted to ban the Ukko, but it is what it is. I think if you had something like Taras, Maritzka and Rotos, of course Taras and Rotos will be your main nukers, but Inithwe is definitely something that he might be like viable choice, that if you have gear for multiple nukers, he might be a pocket nuker that you have in your like inventory that you don't use like often, but sometimes, let's say enemy picks a team like this with Rotos and no Necret, it's super easy fight if you can get a turn on Inithwe against it. Of course, he's easily gonna die to something like oh yeah, he does have the shield now. He's easily gonna die to something like Baron or Charge It, even through like his shields. But against the right matchup, he will be very good. Yeah, I have seen a decent amount of people using Helicat like for his block damage buff. Actually, many people might not know this, but in the early days of the game, there was a lot of less champions, and I think at that point there wasn't Ceres. There was some buff strippers. I think there was like Setalia and something else, but there was no Madame Ceres. Yeah, there was Kaimar, of course, but there was no Ceres, so hardly anyone had buff strip. Like, I'm talking about like first 6 months of the game. And Rosgard was absolutely the best champion for Arena. Like, every Arena defense, if they had Rosgard, they used it. And basically doing the same thing as this Helicat is doing. And there was a lot of complaints about Helicat, and probably that's why Madame Ceres was like released into the game like shortly after that. And of course, after Ceres, like this kind of stuff never came back to the meta. It is kind of funny how like one champion can affect the meta a lot and make some stuff unviable. Okay, so here we have the perfect opportunity. So he's gonna do his triple hit, and Rotos is just gonna get cocked. He's gonna block revive, and nothing he can do after that. Now we can put it on full auto and just wait for him to surrender, because there is nothing that he can do about this. I'm not sure if he knows it yet, because he didn't surrender. But yeah, I'm kind of positively surprised about Inithwe. Like, he's definitely holding his weight more than Errol was. I mean, Errol is still definitely gonna hit harder, but Inithwe doesn't necessarily need to kill the enemy team to win the fight. He just needs to kill one target, and Rotos happens to be the second best nuker in this like meta right now, and it's also very common champion, so you're gonna see a lot of it. So he's definitely gonna be a great counter against Rotos teams. I think Inithwe could even be kind of like meta, not like meta, but like counter meta, like a niche meta pick for sure. I think, yeah, I have to try next reset with Inithwe instead of Gala. Like, I did some fights against arena teams, and against some teams, Gala is definitely better. And then there was some matchups where like Inithwe was better, but he's usable. I can use him. Like, in some teams, like let's say enemies using like some Taras team, and otherwise I will like save the Taras for last and kill like Maritska and the second reviver first, so I can finally get the Taras. But with Inithwe, I could even kill Taras first, and if I can do that, which isn't easy because Inithwe doesn't hit hard at all, his damage is like garbage, but if I'm able to kill Taras with Inithwe, then it's instant win, and yeah. I mean, definitely like Plarium made it on purpose so that Inithwe hits incredibly weak, because with his passive blocking revive on all of his skills, if he was even like half decent nuker, he could be like very top tier. But then again, like considering we have champions like Taras and Georgid, or even Rotos, that are like completely over the top, I do feel like Inithwe could still be even like slightly better. I mean, he got one buff recently. Let me check what the buff was. I don't remember the details, but it was like damage multiplier on one of his skills. Oh yeah, okay. Okay, yeah, okay, that buff was like nothing. So basically, they only increased the damage on his A3 from 3.3 to 3.6. That does like nothing. Oh my god, that might be the smallest buff in the history of the game. Yeah, so this skill was 3.3 multiplier, and it went from 3.3 to 3.6, and that's it. That's the entire buff. What kind of buff is that? I mean, regardless, it hits incredibly like low. I mean, there is champions with much bigger multipliers that also ignore enemy defense and do like 5 times more damage than that. Let's compare it to Georgid. So here we have a Georgid, and of course his passive ignores 50% of enemy defense, but it isn't 100% chance, it's only 50% chance, so it kind of balances it out, but not really. But Georgid has 5.7 multiplier with 50% ignore defense, and the 50% ignore defense is huge. Like, it's gonna increase the damage by like insane amount, and of course it ignores strength and stone skin, shield, unkillable, block damage, increased defense,
ally protection and shield. Basically everything in the game, and 50% of defense. And it has like almost twice the multiplier of Inithwe, like Nuke. But yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, basically Inithwe's skill is, like his kit is very simple. Because of his passive, all of his skills like block revive if they get a kill. And I guess he gets 30% heal, which does nothing if he gets a kill. I don't know why this even is there, because he has 14k HP and he isn't tanky at all. And then other than that, he just has like single target A1 with nothing special, destroys 30% of enemy max HP, which does nothing. Then the A2 is the triple hitter, which has the 4.8 multiplier, which isn't insane. It is very, it's low actually. For a single target hit, 4.8 without any other effects is slow, but it can still kill Rotos, and because of his passive, this is kind of decent skill. And then the A3 is just 3.8 multiplier AoE with nothing special in it. I mean, he does have very high base attack, but this doesn't really do much, like, it doesn't save him. But even regardless of that, like, the block revive is definitely very good. Even if his damage is horrible, like, it seems to be doing work. Of course, this isn't gonna work against some of the top teams, like, if they pick something like Taras, Rotos, Maritzka and 2 others, it's not like he's gonna have enough damage to kill Taras. Okay, looks like I have a fellow arena player here, so this time I'm probably gonna get owned. Let's see how this goes. I suspect we're gonna see like Taras, Maritzka and Rotos now. Maybe. Maybe he also has outdated champion pool like me. We will see. But yeah, he's definitely gonna be faster than me and he's gonna use it somehow, so. In Classic Arena, I'm able to compete because even if I'm not fast, if you can just counter specific types of popular defense teams, then you can still do okay. And that's why I'm able to like cheese and do much better than I should do on my account. But I think this guy is just gonna have way too good champions for us. Yeah, so I mean, there is no choice. I would want to ban something else, but Inithwe is not gonna be able to deal with lockout, so... Oh, dude, he banned Inithwe. Oh my god, so many people are banning Inithwe. I can't believe this. People are super afraid about the Inithwe nuke. Oh my god, I actually got Rotos in a fight. Holy shit. Yeah, looks like I'm gonna be Inithwe main now. Fuck Gala. Gala is yesterday's news. It's time to ditch Gala and go with Inithwe. I don't think I can win this guy though with UDK and double nuke, or he's eventually gonna kill me. Well, at least I do have the double dodges now, so I definitely have decent amount of like sustain and revives. Like, this Duchess is still 140k HP with Immortal and Bolster, so she's not gonna die very easily. Also, one thing that I haven't really been able to showcase yet, because some of the fights like enemy team lost or surrendered instantly, but one interesting trick you can do with this double Duchess like team is that you can rotate the whales and enemy can have very hard time hitting my Inithwe unless they have like a lot of AoE hits, but not with single target hits. Yeah, his UDK is way too tanky that it's not even worth using the cooldowns. It's not gonna die. Yeah, I guess Should I even protect these dodges? No, I'll protect the tanky dodges because... No, okay, I'll protect the weak dodges. The Stone Skin one is not that tanky, it's kind of fast, so it's gonna die fairly easily to these, like, even with their A1s, but yeah, I'm just gonna revive her and try to rotate the revives. That Leorios isn't hitting super hard. I was kind of expecting a lot more damage, though he is full HP, so... He doesn't hit super hard if he isn't, like, low HP. And I should probably, yeah, avoid doing that for now. Let's save that for later, yeah. Basically, I'm gonna have to kill that UDK. I'm not able to do anything before it dies, so... But looks like I'm doing better against this matchup than I thought I would do. Definitely my ultra tanky team is like doing the work here. And enemy was so afraid of my Inithwe that they banned it. I can't believe that happened. Multiple times, that wasn't even the first time they banned the Inithwe. Yeah, it's gonna take some time, but if this fight is still gonna last a while, I might be able to actually win this. Like, Rotos is slowly stacking his HP, and soon I'm gonna block revive. Dude, if I win this, that's gonna be crazy. I can't believe that I could actually win somebody else with, like, red avatar, because even though I have two of them, my red avatars have kind of been because of, like, cheese. Like, it's not like I have the gear comparable, or I mean, I have gear, but I don't have champion pool anywhere comparable to anybody else with red avatars. So, but I guess maybe this guy isn't as big whale as some others. Like, maybe he got his avatars a bit easier as well, or maybe he just didn't pick the right team. I feel like surely he has better team than the one he picked against me, or maybe he just went easy against me. Who knows? I'm thinking that surely he has, like, I don't know, Georgid or Mariska or something. Yeah, looks like my Rotos is not getting turns. This is kind of issue, but he's kind of struggling to kill my Duchesses. So, and like the whales, like, because both of them have the revive and the A2, there's gonna be like a non-stop whales on my team, and the whales are also gonna decrease the damage that I take from AoE hits, so it helps a lot with them surviving. Too bad if, like, Rotos didn't get the turn there. If he got the turn, I was kind of thinking I was gonna win this fight, but maybe he's gonna win it in the end. Yeah, maybe it's time to do another whale to give some tankiness to the team. Let this bolster Duchess, like, recuperate her HP and get the other one back up when it dies. Yeah, I think the team comp that I had for today is definitely better one that I was doing at the start. I still feel like Ukko is very good pick in this format, but maybe it's not something that you want to pick in every fight. Like, it is kind of maybe you want to save it as your last pick, because against some teams your team is gonna be very squishy, and instead if you pick something like this, it's gonna be very tanky. So, but yes, some fights will be super easy if Ukko goes first and he stuns the enemy or removes their immunity and gets decreased attack debuffs on them. I guess he's just gonna save the double hitter nukes on Leorios when Rotos gets revived, and because he has Siphi turn meter boost, like it's kind of hard for me to get turns on Rotos. This is kind of becoming a long stall. I'm not quite sure if I can win this. If Rotos just can get a few turns, it will be okay. Oh, he didn't have AoE nuke. Maybe he should have saved the AoE nuke. Yeah, he definitely should always keep one double hitter till like Rotos gets revived and not use them in between. Maybe he made a mistake there, I'm not sure. Or maybe if he didn't use the nuke, then my Duchesses would have just healed too much. I'm not sure. But looks like I'm actually gonna win this fight. I almost can't believe this, but yeah. But okay, Rotos is of course amazing, but actually we need to give the credit of this fight to the Inithwe, like the unforgotten champion here. Like, even though Inithwe isn't even in the team, but Inithwe is the reason that he's letting me use my Rotos against him, because he's too afraid that Inithwe is gonna kill like one of his champions and then he's not gonna get a revive. Who knows? I'm kind of curious. Maybe he let me use Rotos on purpose. If somebody knows this guy in comments, maybe ask him why he banned Inithwe instead of Rotos. Like, maybe he just wanted to give me a chance and let me use Rotos for once. But yeah, looks like we're actually gonna win this fight. Maybe I can actually get the gold in live arena. I was kind of afraid that I'm not gonna be able to even get the gold in this format, but maybe I can actually do it. Definitely, like, competing against like the top accounts, it's gonna be impossible, but it is like that in Classic Arena as well. So if I can get similar results here that I can get in Classic Arena, that would be very good. But I wasn't really expecting to be able to do that. I was expecting to do much worse than in Classic Arena. I can still lose this fight. Maybe I'm still gonna lose. It's gonna be very close though. This was actually a very fun fight now, because there was so many like ups and downs and it was so hectic. Nice, we actually won this fight. Yeah, I don't think my clan mates are gonna believe that I can actually defeat other people with red avatars in Classic Arena. I need to instantly post that in my clan Discord. They are not gonna believe that Inithwe is carrying me. But yeah, it isn't just this fight, and maybe this guy went easy on me. But actually all of these fights that we had today, Inithwe has like done his part for sure. Yeah, 20 games, fuck, I'll do it. I'm kind of surprised that the resets are so cheap, but they probably did it on purpose, I guess. Like, I was thinking that they would also start from 40 gems or something and double every time. But if they start from 10 games, then you can easily buy a few resets every day if you want to. Yeah, maybe I'm gonna be a Gala main. I mean, Inithwe main now and not Gala main. But yeah, maybe this is something that you guys should consider using as well. Like, of course, even though I keep complaining that I don't have the best champions, having like this team, like double Duchess, Necret and Rotos, is still a pretty good team. But maybe you can also do your own version of this kind of setup, that you use 2 revivers and maybe multiple champions in bolster and shield. It's definitely gonna make your team very tanky. Like, Inithwe is so weak that he wouldn't really even with Necret protection, he isn't gonna be able to survive many AoE nukes. But with double bolster and like Necret ally protection and strengthen, he can even tank many nukes, like not from Baron or Georgid, but he can tank even Tranda and those kind of champions pretty well, like even the Leorios and Tranda. I'm not sure if like, probably like if somebody puts their best gear on Tranda, probably they can still one-shot Inithwe, I assume. But so far I don't think I have seen anybody do it without Baron or Georgid. Yeah, I don't think even Taras was one-shotting. Probably it can, don't quote me on that, I'm not 100% sure. I had one fight where I got totally cucked by, what's this called? I always forget this champion's name. Heprak, yeah, Heprak. Yeah, the Heprak, I guess he also banned the Necret, so the Heprak double hit nuke is definitely something that I need to watch out for. Maybe I need to try to kill him first, though he's probably protected by Necret, I assume. Yeah. Wait, what happened here? I guess I got pretty lucky there. I'm not gonna hit Necret because he for sure has reaction, and either I'm gonna hit Rotos or Ukko. Maybe I'll go with Ukko. Nice. Yeah, it was very fast and weak Ukko, I guess. This guy doesn't have Ludi at all, unlike the last guy that was using Heprak that I lost to. And I only had one reviver in that team, I think, but yeah, this team is, like, this fight is easy now. I guess there is nothing he can really do at this point. Even if Heprak one-shots both of my nukers after I kill the Necret, then it doesn't really matter. Not with these, like, double beefy duchesses that I have in this team. Now I can definitely one-shot this Necret, but maybe I can one-shot the Heprak even through shield. My Rotos does have attack buff, so I'll go for this. Like, probably, yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah, it had a lot of buffs and shields, so I wasn't 100% sure, but looks like it was enough. Definitely, so far, like, I have like 3 days of doing live arena, and I was expecting it to progressively get a lot worse, but looks like my 3rd day of doing this is actually the best one, where I have the fastest fights with the best win ratio. And it is all thanks to Inithwe, which wasn't something that I was ever expecting to say in this game, that Inithwe is actually useful in arena. But I feel like, yeah, he's actually doing some work here. Like, for a classic arena, you want to get fast fights, and you want to have 100% win ratio, because you know what matchups you're taking, and if some fights are slow or hard, then you should just avoid them. But here, all of the fights are kind of gonna be hard, so I think Inithwe has more use here, yeah. That's why you see more champions with like CC and debuffs here, like Leorios, that might get polymorphed and become usable, but people still take those risks in this format because the format is so unpredictable and harder to get like full win rate anyway, that it's better that you take chances and use the strongest champions that you can, even though sometimes they might get RNG losses, I guess. Fuck. I had some very long fights against Harima teams in the past. Yesterday I think I had like 2 25-minute fights against the same guy. But maybe I will do better this time. I didn't... What did I miss? There was something different. Oh yeah, my Inithwe didn't have the same gear as he does today. I tried him just... I put like my fourth best nuker gear on him, so... Now his gear is a decent amount better. Now, okay. Did I fight this exact same? I maybe fought this exact same thing yesterday, so... This is kind of interesting matchup, and I have seen many people use this kind of team. And the issue with this team, the fight is gonna be incredibly long now. Like, well, I could ban something else than Rotos, but I'm just gonna play it the smart way. But this is gonna be incredibly long fight now. Like, he doesn't have enough damage to kill me. Like, nowhere enough close damage. Like, this is kind of, how can I put it nicely? Like, one thing that many people in my clan have kind of been mocking and making jokes about, that most people seem to build their Harimas in nuke builds, and it is totally viable, but you shouldn't expect to, like, Harima doesn't have enough threat and damage to really wipe teams, and you're gonna have very long fights if he's your main nuker, if she is your main nuker, and against tanky team like mine, there is no way a Harima as the only nuker in the team can beat this team. Like, this is gonna take long time, because he has both Harima and UDK passives, and my Inithwe with incredibly bad multipliers is not easily gonna kill anything here. And I think he's even gonna like weak hit on Harima always because of her passive or something. But as long as I get one kill, I will eventually win this fight. But there is nothing that he can do. Like, he can stall this fight, but he will never be able to win this matchup with the Harima nuker. I don't think, even if you had like +4 Harima and insane gear on her, I'm not sure if it will be enough, but definitely the kind of Harimas that I see, if they are your only and main nuker in the team, they have nowhere near enough damage to threaten me. And I'm not saying that nuke Harima is like unviable, but it depends on the matchup, and against tanky teams it definitely is. He might be... This looks like a very squishy dodges, he might even die to the A3, but I'm just gonna go with the A2 to not take any risks. Yeah. And of course, because the A2 is multi-hitter, like triple hitter, and the A3 is AoE, Inithwe is gonna get decent amount of like damage output even despite UDK, though his damage output is very low. Like, even without UDK he's not gonna do a lot of damage, but it will be enough if I just get one kill, and eventually I will win this fight. I might even just like do full auto, like there is no point even manual in this fight. I don't think there's really like any mistake I can do that I could lose this fight, and it's just gonna be a matter of time, so. But yeah, I guess this video became like Inithwe commercial. Like, if you have Inithwe in your vault, which you definitely do if you have him, like you're not using Inithwe if you have pulled him, but maybe it is time to pull the Inithwe out of vault and make use out of him in like live arena, maybe even classic arena. Like, I'm so impressed by today's results that maybe it is time to use some Inithwe on next Platinum Arena reset. Like, yeah, the next reset is gonna be Inithwe and not Gala, I think. I mean, I'm still gonna need a third nuker. Like, I feel like, as I mentioned before, Inithwe is gonna be like, what's the word in English? He's gonna be like a choker pick. He isn't gonna be your second or third nuker in live arena if you have good champions, but it's something that you probably want to gear and use against certain matchups. Like, if enemy picks something like Rotos without Necrot, and Rotos is the only nuker, then it can be very like free win. But against some other teams he just doesn't have enough damage to kill them, and he's not tanky. But it is I think it is good pick to have available even on like top accounts. Like, it's something that you will pick as your last champion. Like, you're not gonna use him as your first pick, but as your last pick, maybe if enemy picked a team that is very favorable to Inithwe, you might pick him even if you have better champions available. But I mean, I don't, so he's gonna be my second nuker for now. But I'm definitely gonna try some other champions as well and try to find other nukers. Like, when we get to gold 4, I mean not gold 4, when we get to gold, you're probably actually gonna need 4 different nukers, because one is gonna get banned, and then you can't use the same champions as the enemy team. So okay, if you pick nuker as your first pick, then maybe you will need at least 3 nukers. But in some fights, let's say enemy bans one of your nukers, and then he picks 2 of your nukers, then you're gonna need a 4th nuker. Or, okay, maybe even 5 nukers, when you put it that way, but maybe that's not ever gonna happen. But let's say he picks 1 nuker, and he bans 1 nuker, then yeah. I mean, not 5, 4, yeah. 3 or 4 is what you're gonna need, and right now I'm at 2, and Inithwe is definitely doing some work, and proving to be way better than he was supposed to be. So he's definitely gonna be one of the nukers that I use in future. But I would still hope to get something like those ads are so like confusing. I'm still hoping to get something like Taras or Georgid as my second nuker.
And also, as a quick addition, like, some people were asking what win rate and how many battles I have done so far. So that's the number that I'm ending like this series of like testing out the live arena beta. And actually I'm at pretty high 80% win rate. I wasn't really expecting that it will go this well, but today it went so well because of Inithwe, so we ended at this number today, but probably it will go a lot lower in the live version.
But yeah, I think anyway, that's it for today's video. And big shout out to Inithwe. He actually proved to be a very good champion for live arena. And many people were asking me after yesterday's video that do I recommend you using Errol? And to him, my answer is that it really depends on your other champions. Like, I would say that the top nukers in live arena is something like Taras, Rotos, Georgid, Leorios, Candy, and maybe let's even put Baron there. Though Baron isn't very tanky, and he has one very hard hitting skills, but basically nothing else. But I would say that those are the top nukers, and I would use them over like pretty much anything else. And definitely all of them are much better options than Errol. But if you don't have anything else, then sure, Errol is decent. Like, he's gonna struggle with weak hitting Duchesses, and he does around 1/3 less damage with his AoE nuke than Baron, but he still does more damage than, for instance, Tranda. And his A3 is kind of decent, like, it doesn't hit super hard, but if he does get a kill, then he will get extra turn, and the cooldown on his A2 is only 3 turns. So basically, if you can get this kill to proc, if you can get the kill with the A3, then it's only gonna be 1 turn. And maybe if you get cooldowns reduced with masteries, like either Cycle of Violence or maybe you even use Cycle of Magic, but then you could basically rotate it instantly. But he is decent, but actually I think I will use Inithwe over him. But I still need to find like a third nuker. I need to have 3 different nukers geared, and maybe Errol will still be one of them. We will see. But I will say that Errol is a bit different. I mean, Inithwe is a bit different than Errol. Like, even if you had some of those, let's say you have all of the top champions that I mentioned for Live Arena, like the top nukers, I think actually it's still worth building something like Inithwe, and maybe also one bomb champion, because it can kind of do the same thing as Inithwe, that if enemy picks a specific type of team, Inithwe or a bomb champion like Shashar might be easily able to like basically solo the enemy team or make it so that you can't lose the fight. But anyway, that's it for today's video, and Inithwe has been a great pick, so I do recommend building him and trying him out. And maybe if people start using him more, then probably enemies will pick teams that are harder to beat with him. But so far from today's results, I was very impressed, and he definitely did his job kind of way better than I thought that he could do. But anyway, that's it for today's video, and see you next time.